Hey everybody, good morning. Graham Nolan here, your ghostly host for 31 Days of Monsters. I'm still on the road. I'm in Fayetteville and I'm heading out later today. So we'll end all this crappy low bandwidth starting tomorrow. So today we're going to talk about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, one of Disney's first live action films. Outstanding adventure film, beautifully shot, beautiful color. In fact, it's on AFI's 100 Greatest American Films. I probably saw this when I was a kid, when Wonderful World of Disney was on, and they used to show their movies exclusively on their channel or on their show. I had to do a little math on this. I always wondered what a league was, like when you say 20,000 leagues under the sea. So a league is 3 nautical miles, and a nautical mile is 1.15 land miles. So 20,000 leagues under the sea equals 68,350 miles. So obviously that's not straight down, that's traveled. That would be what the Nautilus traveled, was 68,350 miles. And that would be like circling the Earth 2.5 times. So Captain Nemo and the boys got around. By contrast, I always wondered what 20,000, from the beast from 20,000 fathoms, what was a fathom? So just as a point of interest, a fathom is 6 feet. So the beast from 20,000 fathoms came from a depth of 120,000 feet. So if that ever comes up on a barroom trivia thing, I got you covered, boys. Kirk Douglas is excellent in this. He was at the peak of his career. He was doing, establishing himself as a real ladies' man and action star. And when he first read the script, there was no action scenes and there was no ladies. So he wasn't too happy. So he talked to director Richard Fleischer, and they added the opening sequence where he's got the 2 girls on either side of him, and then a fight breaks out. So, he was very well aware of what his audience wanted. And I think it adds more action to the film, makes it more interesting, I think. So that worked out. Now, Richard Fleischer, interestingly enough, was the son of Max Fleischer, Disney's biggest competitor. If you remember the Popeye cartoons and, of course, the great Superman cartoons that the Fleischer Studios did in the 1930s and 40s. So when Richard, applied for the job, he says, "Do you know who I am?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I know your dad. I just hired the best man for the job," which is awesome, and which is something that the Walt Disney Company today does not do. They hire by checkbox, filling in blanks. But Walt was bigger than that. He hired the best guy for the job, even though he was the son of his biggest competitor, which makes old Walt aces in my book. If you've ever been down to the Florida Keys, you should go down to Islamorada, because there's a dive museum that's called the Florida Keys History of Diving Museum. And Julie went there and I went there a few years ago, and it covers all the science of diving and the material they use and stuff. But there's a lot of displays about the Nautilus from the movie, and there's actually the first working helmet this guy built. It was Captain Nemo's helmet, and actually is a working helmet, and it's there in the dive museum. And there's also one of the other kinds that the divers wore, and that was used in the film, and it was converted to actually be used as a diving helmet. But that's a really cool tour if you get a chance to take it. The effects in this movie, particularly the climax with the squid, is great. It really holds up. It was supposed to be calm seas when they first fought the squid, but they found out when they started filming it, you could see the wires, and it made it look fake. So Walt Disney was on set, and he suggested they do it in a storm, where they could have water and stuff spraying and all that, and hides a lot of mistakes, but it also I think amps up the action, you know. So yeah, this is a great film. I hope you guys watched it and enjoyed it. Let's say hello to everybody this morning. See who's here. JP Roca asks, "What's good?" He also says, "Nothing like a singing sailor." Yeah, Kirk Douglas was taught how to play that guitar, and for the movie, and he came up with some of his own moves, like the whole thing with the guitar spinning out and bringing it back in. And he does a pretty fine job of playing and singing. And it's a cute little ditty, Whale of a Tale. And it's actually, for me, a very personal song, because the first record I ever owned when I was a little boy was the soundtrack to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And it had that song on it. I know it wasn't Kirk Douglas singing it. It was probably Disney studio singers. And I was hoping to be able to show it to you. I don't have the original one anymore; it was long gone. But I pulled some images off the internet, but I can't share the screen on a mobile device. So sorry about that. No can do. Killer Squid is here, which seems appropriate. Marcus Kellegrew is here. Rob Fellows. Rob is always good for a movie quote. We can't forget him today. It's my own recipe: saute of unborn octopus. Nick Capello is here. Hello, Nick. I think this was also one of the first films to be shot in CinemaScope, as well as Disney's first LA film. Yeah, it was the first one, I believe, released under his distribution company, Buena Vista. And then all his previous films from that point on would be released under the Buena Vista. Anti-Entity is here. Ethereal Boomslang. Morning, Chat and Graham. Hope it's been a good one. It's chilly up here in Joplin, Missouri. It's pretty nice here in Fayetteville, but it's going to be a little cooler when I get back home today. Good morning, Chat, says Rob Younce. Marcus Kellegrew says, yeah, crappy internet and hotel. Know it well. Yeah, I'm actually using my, I've paired my phone up with it, and I've used it about all my data on it. Delaware Comics Dude says, hey, Hail Comics Gate, and Graham, thank you. Oh, when I was talking about the dive museum, I forgot to mention where it is. It's actually on Isla Morada, which, as you should know by now, Isla Morada is on Matacumba Key. And it's also where the Hurricane Memorial is, and where our story, The Ghost of Matacumba Key, takes place. So if you haven't backed it, the link is in the description. Please go ahead and do that. Back that you're going to want you're not going to want to miss that comic. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Oh, and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Claustrophobia is an issue with me. Found out when I went into the North Carolina. So having fear of being stuck underwater in a sardine can is very scary. Yeah, I imagine that would be. After some wenches at the start, he had to make do with Esmeralda. Rob Yount says he loves 20,000 Leagues, and like Graham, I first saw it broadcast from TV from Disney. Stat Zero is here. He says, good morning. Fearless Freak. Didn't get the notice, but I'm here now. Yeah, it's weird how that happens. Apparently Nemo's pipe organ is in the original Haunted Mansion. I think they had it in the 20,000 Leagues thing at Disney World. I'm not sure if that is or not. Ethereal Boomslang says 20,000 Leagues is one of my favorite films. Also, back Ghost of Matacumba Key. Can't wait to add it to the Canoe and Alien Alamo. All right. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Chris Juliano is here. Hey, you didn't miss it, see? Anthony wants to know my take on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and its take on Nemo. I never read the book or the comic, but I did see the movie that forced Sean Connery into retirement, and I didn't care for it. And I could see why he would want to eschew all life in Hollywood after that. Normie Nerd is here. Says good day, Graham in chat. And Nick says it's verified to be in the Haunted Mansion. Okay, there it is. Dan Genovese says he's late. That's excellent. I can't remember what's on tap for tomorrow. Does anybody have the list handy? Because I can't see it. Oh wait, yeah, I can. I can just do it on my phone. Let's see. Let's see what we got going here for tomorrow. You guys will probably find it before me. Yeah, Billy and I had a fun time at the convention. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures we took of me having him in a fireman's carry in the wrestling ring because they had wrestlers there. And then we took our best Commander Bragg photos last night. Doing that ho 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 type stuff with our cigars. We got some funny pictures that we'll be posting. Oh, tomorrow's a fun one. We're gonna carry the 20 theme. All right. I just should have looked down. You guys got it to it before me. 20 million miles to Earth. So we're gonna do a little Ray Harryhausen tomorrow. That'll be fun. Thoughts on? Thank you, my friend. Comics have been great. Keep it up. Will do. Thoughts on Mysterious Island? Haven't read it, and it's been so many years since I've seen it. The movie. Speaking of Ray Harryhausen, I really need to rewatch that one and see. I forget who plays Nemo in that. Rob Fellows says a possible Star Trek connection: the prison colony Rora Pandi becomes Rora Penthe in Undiscovered Country. That's true. So there we go. We got another Star Trek connection. Leg Kick One says he liked Two-Fisted Manly Tales, and he grew 3 hairs on his chest and started eating in diners. Yeah, there's lots of after effects when you read that book. Oh, Herbert Lom. Okay. Huh. I don't think he makes as good a Nemo as James Mason. Originally, they were considering, and he tried out for the role, and that was Gregory Peck. And he would have been a very good Nemo. He's kind of stoic. He has a very deep voice, and he's imposing. He's tall. I thought he would have been a great Captain Nemo. Maybe they should have used him for Mysterious Island instead of Herbert Lom. Just kind of strikes me as kind of dumpy. Doesn't have that gravitas, if you will, that the great James Mason has. Well, thank you, Rob. Best line in Manly Tales was "Trucker who wanted some pie." Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that line. I'll wait for everybody to read it. It's not appropriate for work. Let's just put it that way. Peter Lorre said about this movie that the squid got the role that is usually reserved for him. Past Master Dan says, "Hail chat on my phone. Youngest is having back surgery in Kentucky." Ooh, well, prayers to your son there, Past Master Dan. Hope it all works out well, and that he's back home and feeling better soon. Okay. He likes Fearless Freak likes Peter Lorre and Arsenic and Old Lace. Yeah, uh, my two of my favorite scenes with Peter Lorre in that is when he's arguing with Brewster about how many people he killed and how many the old ladies have killed. He's like, no, 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 you killed 13, she killed 13. You have the same number. And then at the very end, after all the shitstorm happens, and Peter Lorre thinks he's going to walk out, and then the cop calls him back in to ask him something, and he thinks he's been found out. And then he realizes he hasn't. He's standing at the door, and he goes, cracks me up. And then he just leaves. It's worth that movie just for that. I'm actually thinking of swapping out a film and sticking Arsenic and Old Lace in the rotation. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat. I was thinking of swapping out the Mummy's Tomb or the Mummy's Curse, whatever that one is. It's toward the end of our run here. I think it's like October 29th or 30th, something like that. It's a B movie. It's not that important. It's just that the only thing that I want to talk about it is, fuck it. Let's talk about it right now, and we'll get it out of the way, and we'll stick Arsenic and Old Lace in. Yeah, The Mummy's Tomb was the follow-up to The Mummy's Hand. And as you all know, I love The Mummy's Hand. That was like the beginning of these two-fisted adventure aspect being added to the horror line. So you've got Dick Foran, this two-fisted archaeologist prototype of Indiana Jones, and he's got his sidekick Babe, who's comic relief, and there's the pretty girl and her father, and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's such a really fun and excellent B movie, and all the Mummy sequels were really dark compared to the sequels in the other films, but this one is dark. The Mummy's Tomb was dark because we pick up, I don't know how many years later, 20 years later, 15 years later, with Banning and Babe, and now they're living in like Massachusetts or something. He's got a son it's World War II. His son is about ready to go in as a major or something in the Army, Air Corps, or whatever. And Karis, the mummy, is brought over for revenge, and he wipes out. First his wife from The Mummy's Hand had passed away. Obviously, the father had passed away, so he's a widower. And then Karis comes back and kills Banning and kills Babe. So now the entire cast from The Mummy's Hand is gone, and we're left with the young son, not young son, he's a man, but the son to carry on and fight the mummy. And it reminds me of Aliens 3. Aliens 3 shits on Aliens because it kills everybody that we love. All of a sudden, Hicks is gone, Newt is gone, Bishop is gone. Everything that happened and everything they went through was wiped out in the beginning of Aliens 3. And that's the same thing in this movie. So that's why that's what I wanted to talk about it. But it's fine. It's a B movie, but I don't like the themes. I like to I like to think that they won in the mummy's hand, and that's all there was. And the same thing with aliens. I figure, oh, they all got back. Aliens are destroyed, or they're in other parts of the universe, whatever. But I can't stand when different people come in, different screenwriters, different directors, and they come in and they crap on the work before them, instead of expanding upon it. And so, same here as with aliens. Great, or you could do a double bill like before. Oh, too late. Already spoke about it. JP Roker says, make the switch. Robian says, my wife liked my No Dandy shirt I wore this past weekend. Oh, nice. Excellent. Shadowhawk talks at Hail Graham at work for these most mornings, but that's the beauty of replays. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ethereal boom slang. Aliens 3 was really a gut punch. Would have been better had they all survived. Yeah, it would have been. Okay, I think that wraps it up, gang. I got a plane to catch at 12, so I can go home and rest up. Probably take tomorrow off and decompress from the show. But until then, you guys have a great day. And do your homework. Come back with 20 million miles to Earth. Got some fun stuff to talk about in that movie. Little things I'm going to point out to you that you're going to be like, shit, I wish you told us that before we watched it. Because it'll become apparent. But again, it's a Harryhausen film, so there's going to be a great monster in it. So have a great one, my friends, and we will talk again tomorrow from the studio with decent Wi-Fi. Until then, bye-bye.